Espinosa, and welcome to the Journey for Freedom Show, Episode 6, How to Stay in a Positive Mindset Every Single Day. I've got 7 tips for you guys, all right? And so I wanted to get on live here and talk to you about it. And I'm in Baja California, Mexico, about 5 hours south of the San Diego border. So, yeah, welcome to my home office. Okay, so let's get right into it because it's going to take a little bit of time to explain all 7 tips. So, as people jump on, go ahead and say hi and where you're from. Again, I'm from Baja California, Mexico. My name is Sarah Espinosa, and if you don't know, I have 7 kids. I'm a homeschool mom, and I own my own business, and I work from home. So, today is an awesome day, and today we are all gonna rock it in our businesses, right? In our school, in our jobs, whatever we're gonna do, we're gonna rock it because we are awesome. Okay, so have you ever had the problem, like you wake up in the morning and you wake up late? You wake up late, you had the intention that you were gonna wake up early and get a whole bunch of things done, and you were gonna stick to this plan every single day, right? And what happens on those days where you missed it? You know, where you woke up late and you didn't get those things done in the morning that you wanted to get done. And so immediately our minds go to, I messed up. You know, I threw my whole day off. Now I'm going to be behind schedule. Now I'm not going to get this done. And you immediately talk to yourself in a way that's negative. And what happens when you do that is then everything is negative. You know, your whole day is consumed with negativity because you woke up with this thought of it's too late now. The whole day is shot, right? But here's another scenario. And this recently happened to me where I went to bed with a negative thought and I thought, oh, you know, I can't sleep now because I'm so worried. I'm so worried about these things that didn't happen or that are happening. And so I just started myself on a path of negativity. And you know, you wake up the next day with that. You wake up negative, crabby on the wrong side of the bed. You know, I know it's not just me. I know there's people out there that do that and they hate that they do that and they want to change that. So drop a 1 in the comments if you are tired of doing that to yourself. If you're tired of destroying your own day with the negative thinking, right? Drop a 1 below in the comments. And as you get on, say hi and let me know where you're from, what country, what city, and something interesting about yourself. If this is the first time that you've seen me, I want you to write new on the comments below. So I want to make sure that I go and say hi to you and talk to you personally. So why should we have this positive thinking? Why should we strive to have positive thinking? What's the point of it? You know, this world is so negative. You know, wherever you go, there's negativity on the TV and the news. And, you know, people in general tend to get together and talk about negative stuff. And why should we do something different? Well, the benefits are so many. You know, you'll become confident in yourself if you're positive, smiling, happy. You're confident in who you are. It builds you up so that you can do more things, more and better things for yourself, for this world, for your family, at your job, at your business. So being positive has so many effects on it. It reduces depression, of course, because being negative too long causes this mental depression that weighs you down and actually freezes you out. And so many people suffer with that they need to take some type of medication in order not to be depressed, right? So I think that these tips that I'm going to give you are really going to help you to eliminate that depression. It reduces hypertension, right? Because when you're stressed out, and you're nervous and you're negative, your heart and your body feels it, and it causes you to be sick, actually. So your mood and your confidence and your health is all included in why you should have a positive mindset, okay? So let's get into it. The 7 tips to have a positive mindset every single day, okay? Number 1, start your day with a positive affirmation. Just like I did at the beginning of this live video, I said, hey guys, you guys are awesome. You're gonna rock it in your business today. You're gonna rock it in your homeschool today. You're gonna have an amazing day with your relationships. You need to speak that into existence and have that positive affirmation about it, like you don't know what's going to happen, but you believe it's going to happen. And so that starts that path of these things happening by speaking it out. We have power in our speech. Whether you believe it or not, give it a try because it's true, okay? So say to yourself something sassy, something exciting and awesome that makes you smile or giggle or laugh, or I used to say I'm the bomb, and I'd tell my husband, because I'm the bomb, because that's how I am, and people are attracted to that confidence and to that happiness and positivity that you have. So you just attract good things into your life when you speak out those good things about yourself, because there's so many good things about yourself, right? So number 2, focus on the good things that are happening, okay? No matter if it isn't good things happening, there's always something in there that's good that's happening, right? Okay, you get to choose how you view what's happening, right? So, you're not powerless. If something on the outside is happening to you, there's always something good that's happening at the same time, right? Let's say you get in an argument with a friend. Let's say that you have, and those relationships, they really make us have negativity if we let them, or we can let them have positivity, because relationships mean so much to us. It's like the majority of what concerns and occupies our minds is our relationships, our friendships, because God made us that way. He made us to have friendships and things. So if you find yourself worrying and having negativity about friendships and things like that, just remember, even if you have a fight, even if there's something negative, you have the power to learn from it and overcome it. And that's the positive thing that you're going to focus on. Because friendships get stronger when they go through something and come out of it, right? After you grow in your friendship, and the only way to grow is to have a little struggle. So be okay. Be okay with those types of things that are happening, because there's growth happening at the same time. So focus on the good things that are happening and tell yourself, hey, this might be hard, but there's something good coming out of it. I know it, okay? Number 3, find humor in really bad situations. Tell yourself, and it's true, you will laugh about this later, right? And, it's not funny at the moment, and it would be inappropriate, to laugh at something in the moment, but you have to be thinking positive about it, because this is the beginning of your journey. So let's say you get fired. Let's say you get fired from your job. Ugh, that's not happy. That's not positive. I can't be positive about that. I need to be sad. But it's the beginning and the start of something that's good that's going to be happening, right? Maybe that's going to be the beginning to your home business journey, right? Maybe it's going to cause you to get a different job. That's a better job with more pay, and God knows what He's doing in your life. So even a sickness, I have a son with severe autism, and I'm thinking, oh, what's positive about that? Well, what's positive is my son is such an angel. He's so funny, and the way that he communicates just amazes me. And you can think about it, and you can also say, you know what, in the future, he could be completely healed and recovered from it. And I can't wait for that day. So I'm going to keep looking at that positiveness, right? Number 4, turn your failures into lessons. We're all going to fail, guys. I'm so sorry to tell you, but we're all going to fail. We know that we cannot be perfect all the time. So you perfectionists out there, you have to understand that you will fail sometimes, right? Especially if we're learning and growing and trying new things, which is creative people love to do. It's not going to all go smoothly. And if it's going smoothly, you're not pushing yourself hard enough. Let's just face it. You have to push yourself hard. You have to grow and you have to expand and you have to do new things. You have to be flexible and you have to realize that it's not all going to be peaches and cream. It's going to have some problems sometimes. So don't beat yourself up about it when you fail. Do not do that. Remember that there is a lesson in everything. Turn your failures into lessons is tip number 4. God lets us fail so that we can learn something. And how do you know what to learn? You can ask your friend, your trusted friend, hey, I failed at this. What does that mean? What did I do? And you know what? Keep those friends who lift you up, not tear you down, because you could do that yourself, right? You can tear yourself down easily. You don't need anybody else to do that. You need the friends around you who lift you up and to give you a positive aspect about what happened, a positive point of view, because sometimes your point of view can't see everything and you need each other in order to grow. Iron sharpens iron, the Bible says. Okay, so ask a friend, ask your mentor, say, you know what, I tried this and it didn't work, and you know what he can do? He can give you something to learn from it and say, okay, you know what, that happened to me too, and then here's what I did, or here's what you could do, and you could brainstorm together with a mentor or a coach in your business, and or your pastor. You know, the other day, actually last night, I felt like such a failure. It was one of those sleepless nights, and that's why I'm doing this show today. I had missed church twice in a row, and I hate missing church. And we had church Friday night, and I go back and forth to the USA, a couple times a month. And I was like, what's wrong with myself? And blah, blah, blah. And all that negative thinking came in. And I talked to my husband, and you know what? I'm just giving you a little tip. Our husbands or your wives, they do not want to see you uncomfortable. They don't want to see you struggle. They don't want to see you growing, not because they don't want you to do great things, but because they want to keep you safe and they want to keep your life perfect, right? Because that's good husbands and wives. So they might not be the best ones to ask when you're going through some stressful things. But I called my pastor and he said, Hermana Sara, maybe if you did your trips, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, and you could be well rested and you could come to church, ready, instead of flying home 5 hours and then going to church tired and maybe being late and not prepared, for church. So I was like, oh, that's a good idea, Pastor. And I stopped feeling bad about it. I stopped feeling like that failure was a bad person and a not good enough person. And I started thinking, oh, I just have to tweak it a little bit. Okay, I can do that. And then I talked to my husband afterwards and told him that. And he said, you know what we could do, Sarah? We could stop doing twice a month and we could do once a month to the USA. And, we could just really plan it out so it's better, so you're not so worn out from traveling. And so these things, I'm telling you, because we need to analyze everything as a failure and bring it into a lesson to learn. And I want to share with you guys how to do this, right? Number 5, transform your negative self-talk into positive self-talk. And we did a little bit of this, and as I showed you my stories, we did it a little bit already. But you can't say, I'm bad at this. I was never meant to do this. I'm a failure. All those kind of talking it cements in your mind, and it starts to form who you are. And it takes a lot of work to get that kind of junk off of your mind and your heart. And so you can become who you are supposed to be, right? Because we're all meant to do great things. We're all beautiful people, and we're all amazing and smart and creative. And if you start to tell yourself like, oh, you know, I didn't pass this test, I'm so dumb. That's not a good thing to tell yourself. And so you need to stop telling yourself bad things about yourself. And it's very, very important, you know, and this youth generation, they do it a lot. They do it a lot. And us as parents, we do it around them too, which we should stop doing. And you got to think of this when you're talking to yourself, because you're an example. You're an example to your kids. You're an example to your husband, your wife, your co-workers, you know, whoever that you're around, your brothers and sisters at church. You're an example. And if you do that to yourself, then they're going to think that that's fine, and they're going to do it themselves, because people tend to not reach higher, but they tend to just be like everybody else around them. And so you have to be the one that is the self-talker that's positive and not negative. So remember that there's people listening, not just you, but there's other people listening when you have that negative self-talk, right? And that's what drives me is, and a lot of moms is, like to say to our kids, you know, you can do it. You're very smart. You can pass that test. You can. I know you can. You know who you are. Don't you know who you are? You're my child, and you're great, and you're so creative, and you're so smart. You're athletic, and you're beautiful, and you know you have such a good heart, and you always work so hard. And please don't talk bad about yourself. Don't tell yourself that you're fat and ugly. Don't say those things, because it hurts my heart. I'm your mama. Well, that's the kind of thing we need to tell ourselves, right? Because we have a God who is listening also to what we say. He knows our thoughts and our hearts, but he listens to what we say. And he does not feel happy when his child is talking bad about themselves, because he created us in his image, and he wants us to be, right? He wants us to be trying to be more like him, right? And number 6. All right. Number 6, focus on the present. Okay, so when you're going through something that's negative or hard, you tend to bring back your last experiences on it, and or your future experiences, and you say, you know what, that always happens, okay, and it's gonna keep happening, and I'll never change, because you know how many times have I tried this diet and it hasn't worked, and you know, I'm never going to be able to. Always and never are really bad words to say, because right now you have control over this day and this time. Don't worry about the past, and don't worry about the future. We know that today has enough worries of its own. So today we're using our positive talking to ourselves. We're using our positive affirmations, right? And we're learning everything as a lesson. We're living, you know, in the moment. So now is what you can control. Now you can get through it. Now you're okay. Now it's not so bad to walk. It's not so bad to eat healthy. It's not so bad to do the right choices. You're not suffering. You know, you're not going through something that's too hard for you, because we'll never go through something that's way, way, way too hard for us, right? And if we do, we have people in our lives that are going to be there for us, right? And that's a beautiful thing. So focus on the now. Look at the beautiful things in now. You see how all these tips tie together? And that's why I'm sorry it's a super long live, but it's a super important to get all these steps on one video, okay? Because when you watch it or rewatch it, it's really, really going to help you. Okay, learn it as a lesson. Now, what is it now? And then finally, 7 is, of course, we talked about this before, is to find positive friends positive mentors, positive role models and leaders in your life, and make sure you stay around them. Make sure that you get your advice from them, right? Your pastor, right? Your pastor that is a lifter and a builder, and all pastors should be that way. They should not be bringing you down. They should be lifting you up, and they should be motivating you to push harder and push towards that mark of the high calling. You know, you should be walking away from negative talk. If you have family or a group of friends and they start to talk negative about something and you get this feeling inside of you like, ew, I feel like there's garbage being dumped inside of me. They're gossiping about somebody, or they're just like, everything is bad, 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 bad. For a short time, you can try to be the positive and lift them up, okay? But if they're like that all the time, then you need to just stay away from that so it doesn't get into you and affect you. And you need to pray for them, right? Here's the story. A guy going up a mountain, right? He's going up the mountain and he has his backpack. Okay, some of you are going to think this is harsh, but listen to the whole story. He has his own backpack and he's going up the mountain. It's a little bit heavy, but he can do it, right? And we're all going on this mountain, you guys. And everybody has their own backpack, their own burden to carry. And we all have to learn how to carry our own load, right? Some people are totally unable to do it. Those the ones that have disabilities and elderly, you know, they aren't able to do it and stuff like that. So that's bearing one another's burdens. But other people too that are learning how to get up that mountain and have their own backpack. What happens if you start taking on that backpack of someone else? What if you start taking on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backpacks? What do you think is going to happen to you when you're trying to get up that mountain? You're going to fall down and you're going to be carrying burdens that you were not meant to carry. Okay? And this doesn't go against the Bible because it really goes with it. It says, bear ye one another's burdens, and so ye fulfill the law of Christ in Galatians 6:2. But do you take on everybody's burdens to the point where you're like depressed and you can't sleep and you worry about it and you try to do everything for them and blah blah blah, and then you don't do the things in your own life that you need to do? That's incorrect. That's incorrect way to live. When you're bearing someone else's burden, you do it for a very short time. And you know, you can't do it. You're not God. But you can bring it to God. You can pray for them. You can give them positive encouragement and a temporary, like, here's what, you know, I can help you with is, you know, I can encourage you. I can lift you up. I can give you some things to help you out temporarily, you know, and I will be your friend, you know, always. But you can't live their lives for them. You can't fix people, you know. God does that. God does that. So you have to learn how to give it to God, pray for them with a good heart, and then leave it there at the altar so you don't get like weighed down. So keep your positive people around you, and of course we always help people that need help. But I learned a very important lesson is that you can't help someone unless you're okay. So in order for you to stay okay, you have to have a clean heart and mind, positive. And if you start to feel like, ooh, yucky, then analyze it and learn from it and think, okay, you know, this is where I could make improvements and like learning, right? So this is your Journey for Freedom show. Kind of serious, but very important. And this is episode number 6. And these are the 7 tips to remain positive every single day. It's totally achievable, guys. It's totally possible. And this life isn't easy, but we're on the journey for freedom, right? And you know what? We're growing every day. We're learning every day. We're making changes every day. And we're becoming better every single day. okay? And our goal on the Journey for Freedom show is to bring more people better lives in every single way. Spiritually, emotionally, mindset, right? We're trying to help people get financially free and to live the lives that they need to live in order to keep going in the right way, right? So hope you guys have an awesome day. Like this post and share it to your team and share it to your friends, and have a beautiful day. Remember, yes, the goal is freedom. Hey, Quinella, how are you? The goal is freedom. Freedom from all the chains and the burdens, freedom from the negativity, freedom from anything that can stop us from our freedom. You know, we have to analyze it, and we have to deal with it and fix it, right? All right, see you next time. God bless you.